Everybody. I don't know what it's like inside for you right now when you're watching this video, but when I'm making this video, it's kind of cold out there. And that means it is a good day to sit and snuggle and listen to a story. And wouldn't you know, I just happen to have a story that I prepared for you and it's all ready to go. And it's actually kind of a special story because while I'm telling it, I have this piece of paper right here that I can fold into shapes that go with the story, and it's a little bit magic. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is magic paper. So, if you're ready for the story, are you? All right, let's go. This is a story about um, what does this look like? Does it look a little bit like a hat? Well, this is a story about a princess who had a crown, and this is her crown right here, and you see it is a lovely yellow color. It's a nice golden crown, and of course it's like any princess crown. It's got, you can't see them, but it's got kind of jewels on it, and it's sparkly and shiny, and it is a great crown for a princess. And one day she lost her crown, and don't ask how she lost a crown because it's a crown and it's big and it's heavy and it's sparkly and shiny. I don't know how you lose it, but she did. She lost her crown. She told her parents that she lost her crown, and they said, well, it's your crown, you'd better go find it. So the little girl, she left the palace and she set off. She went down to the park. She's going to go look for her crown down in the park. She's walking along through the park to look for her crown, and she came across a duck in the park. And she said to the duck, hi, Mr. Duck, I have lost my crown. Have you seen a crown anywhere? And the duck said, well, no, I've just been doing duck kinds of things, and I've been teaching my babies how to swim. I haven't seen your crown, but if you keep walking, you'll find Mr. Fox. Maybe Mr. Fox knows where your crown is. So the princess kept walking through the park until she found Mr. Fox. And she went up to Mr. Fox and she said, hi, Mr. Fox. I'm looking for my crown, and Mr. Duck said you might know where my crown is. And the fox said, well, no, I've just been doing fox kinds of things, and I've been over here teaching my babies how to hunt. So I haven't seen your crown, but if you keep going, maybe you will find someone else who knows where your crown is. I think Mrs. Dove is over there somewhere. So the princess kept walking through the park, and she looked at the park around her and all of the fun that everyone was having, and they were enjoying their time in the park until she came to see who she found next. Mrs. Dove, just like the fox said she would. She went up to Mrs. Dove and she said, hi, Mrs. Dove, I am looking for my crown. Have you seen a crown? And Mrs. Dove said, well, no, I've just been over here teaching my babies how to fly. I haven't seen your crown. But if you keep going, there are a lot more places that you can look where maybe you will find your crown. So the princess, she kept walking. And then what do you think she came across next? Well, she came to a pond, and in that pond was a boat. And this boat had a mast and a sail. So it must have been kind of a big pond, maybe more like a lake, except it's in the park, so it's a really big park. Anyway, she came to a boat with a mast and a sail, and she said, well, maybe my crown is somewhere over there in the pond. So she got in the boat and she went sailing along through the pond, and then do you know what happened when she was sailing along through the pond? Along came a storm, and it broke the mast right off the boat. So now she was just in a boat, no more mast. And she wasn't too worried though, because you know what she knew how to do? She can navigate by the stars because she is a smart princess. And there were stars up in the sky, and she was able to use the stars to help find where she was going. She didn't need the sails anymore. And she followed along by the stars And the stars took her to an island in the middle of the pond. It was a nice island. It had lots of plants and trees on it, and it also had a hut. See, it's got a roof and 4 walls. And here's this nice hut on the island. She wondered, well, what's that hut doing there? I don't know, but maybe there's something inside that hut. Maybe there's a clue about where my crown went. So she went inside the hut and she started to look around, but you know what? There were a lot of rooms in there, so it was going to take her a while. It'll take me a while. Sorry. This paper is not cooperating. Okay, so she's looking around inside the hut. All the different rooms in the hut, and you know it's dark in there because it's inside, and it's also nighttime because remember there were stars in the sky, so that makes it nighttime. So she went in and she found a light switch, and she flipped the switch from off to on, and she turned on a light so she could see what she was doing. And then she looked around in the room that she was in, and what do you think she saw? On a table in the middle of the room, she saw a cap. You see that? And it was a nice cap. It was just like her crown. It was the same color as her crown, so it was shiny. And it also had some jewels on it because it's my story and I say it did. So it was a really nice cap. And she decided, well, I don't know where my crown went, but I know where this cap is. So I think I'm going to use this cap instead of my crown. And she put the cap on her head, just like that. And she got back in the boat. Oops. And she went and she sailed back to the palace and she told her parents all about this new cap she had found instead of her crown. And her parents were okay with that. And they said, you can keep the cap. You don't have to find your crown anymore. Which is good because I ran out of things to make into the crown. So that's the end of my story. And I did it all with one piece of paper. That was kind of magic, wasn't it? You will not believe how long it took me to figure all that out. So, but I wanted to share it with you. So I guess I will see you in my next video. I don't even know what I'm going to do then. So it'll be a surprise for everybody. So I'll see you then. Bye.